Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is not a character. This is Nai Kenji. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done something like this. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you when, but I'll give a little synopsis. This is a video that will have very little, if any, cuts, and it's a time to where I could just talk about mental health, and you guys can feel like there's someone here talking to you guys. Because I think it's really important that you feel like someone cares about you. Because there was someone way back who made something like this, and it really helped me through a dark time. And I'm just trying to add something like that to the internet. Much more of a passion project than other things that I've done. Um, I was going to write down in my notebook, but quite frankly, I forgot before clicking record. So we're just gonna be going off the cuff of my head. I also have tea. Probably gonna be what I use to see how long this is really gonna end up going. Um, I've been thinking a lot recently just because I was sick. I was bedridden for like 3 days and I had to call off of work even though I don't get a whole lot of hours. And really, really hated it so much. Seeing everyone create such cool things whenever I was just stuck there, sleeping, trying to get better as fast as I could. It's why I couldn't do as I said and get the ASMR out like I told you guys I would. And I'm working on this because it's less straining on my voice. That's not the truth. I worked a lot today, and whenever I was working, I couldn't help but think about this. Speaking about truth, I was listening to one of my favorite songwriters. I don't know, my favorite like song artist. Fun. They made Some Nights. You guys definitely know them, and they made a song called "Here Comes the Sun," I believe, and it's a song about the moment that like the sun rises, they acted like they didn't love each other anymore. And there's this wonderful line that makes me think every time that I hear it of, "You know me better than the truth." What an absolutely beautiful line. Because I'm someone who will often struggle being honest with people. Even myself, even. I have schizophrenia, I think that's the one. I struggle to remember what my individual mental illnesses happen because I tend to just know what they do to me. So trying to diagnose which each one is to the puzzle is a little hard for me. But I struggle really hard with reality. I don't know what's real and what's fake. I don't know a lot of things because of it. And I hardly know myself because of it. And one of the things that I struggle with is that I struggle telling the truth a lot of the time, and I'll only know that I lie after the fact. And it really makes me embarrassed because I don't really say anything about it because a lot of people I think need me to be the lies that I say. So it's not something that I think about a whole lot, but it's not all bad. I think the lies that I've told over the years has all led me to pushing myself harder than I could ever hope to be. Trying to be what everyone believes that I am. Making sure everyone's expectations is high enough that I have something to work towards. It's a little worrying, but I think it's kind of beautiful. The reasons that we find to work, the reasons why we convince each other to work harder. And that's kind of why I like the line. I know it always goes back to like my future lover with me, but yonder be damned, right? Kind of the whole gimmick of it, to be beyond obsessed with it. And the idea that someone could like see past the lies and understand who I am beneath all the layers, I think that's kind of what we all need. We need someone who doesn't take us for our word, but maybe for who we are, our intentions, who we want to be. A level of trust that goes past reality. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's what I dream for. Talking about reality is really hard for me just because of how how am I meant to talk about something that I struggle even comprehending? But I think it makes sense to me. Yeah. You know, I think being self deprecating and hating are like pretty interesting. Because both of the things that. Well, I struggle kind of with both of them. Because I've never. Well, I've never understood self deprecation. And that's because it's such like a paradox. What is the point of hating who you were back then when you wouldn't make that decision today? And the only reason why you would self deprecate is if you wouldn't make that decision again. Mistakes are fine, I just don't think they should be repeated. If they repeat, that's when it's really bad, at least to me. But that's why it's really hard to hate people. Because people have done awful things to me, but I've forgiven them just because they're not the same person. So I don't know if they would make that decision again if given the opportunity. So how can I hate them for it? Sorry about that. My body is still like coughing and things. And I'm using my voice a lot right now. But that's why I have tea. I really hope you guys have something hot to drink. I don't know in what state you're watching this, but if it's a bad one, I really hope that you have something nice to drink, you have some water, and you're being safe with your body. I really hope that's the case. I hope this is comforting in some way. Because it's just so isolating, feeling like you're the only one who struggles. And I want to be clear. I know I talk that I struggle and I'm not doing my best, but it's like, that's a misnomer. I'm doing my damnedest. And everyone is. That's why I love humanity. Because everyone is trying their best. I don't think anyone isn't. Even if they're not really trying, they can't force themselves to try harder. And if they can, they tend not to know how. So it's hard to blame anyone for anything. But the reason why you're probably here is you're trying to help yourself. If it's to feel better or maybe to get yourself back to a state where you could work, I'm sure it's something of the nature. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for waking up today. I'm proud of you for taking a shower. I'm proud of you for anything that you've done. And anything that you're yet to do. I really do believe in you. You got this. And don't worry, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not anywhere close to it. Yeah. I barely even drank my tea. It's going to go cold at this point. You know, whenever I was in the shower before recording this, I was really thinking about how sad it is that I won't get to know you guys. And I don't know why I'm thinking this, because I'm be honest, I'm not in content creation for any audience. Like, I enjoy helping people, and I'm happy I could do that while making silly things, but I'm much more here to create something really beautiful than to interact with an audience of sorts. But you guys won't ever truly know the person that I am. And that's kind of interesting. Because I think it's reasonable that you guys would never, I will never understand you guys because there are so many and there will only be more. I mean, even today, there, like, I'm a small creator. I have 558 subscribers right now. I would not be able to learn all of their names within a year, I don't think. I genuinely don't think I would be able to. And I think that's kind of sad. Because you guys will never know how I like going outside into like abandoned parking lots and just look at the stars. You'll never see how I sigh when I get pulled over by the cops for something idiotic. You would never know how I have a relationship with all the cops around here simply because I get pulled over so much for things that are completely out of my control. You'll never know so many things like that. And it's kind of sad. Because I think it's not knowing things like that is where the disconnect of when bad things happen, that you guys may not know that my intentions are good. I really think that's probably it. Because even at my growth, people that be like people who really enjoy the content, I think are rather active in the community, they have a hard time humanizing me. That's fair. It's hard. But I kind of thought it'd take longer. But it's interesting. But I hope you guys form bonds like that. Because I may hate getting pulled over by cops all the fucking time. I hate it so much. But it's nice to know their names. It's nice to sit down with them at donut shops. They've even bought me something before. Just being around people is so nice. Hearing their voices, talking about how their beard is growing far too long, talking about how long they spend in the shower, talking about the most mundane things that would never like see place in a story just because of how useless it would be. It's really beautiful. I really think it's hard being a human. Because even someone that I think is like decently accomplished, I'm not accomplished, but I'm decently accomplished. A lot of my friends look at what I've done and they like act as if it's impressive. I don't get why. So I guess I'm like decently accomplished. I really look at myself sometimes and I think, I might not be able to do this, not because I'm not trying hard enough, but because my parts may be bad. Like inherently, the way that my body or my mind or how I was made. Something is wrong, and it's the reason why I'm not going to make it in the industry. And I think it's a really human worry. I think everyone thinks it. Anyone of any intelligence. And that's kind of sweet, ain't it? My editor really does believe that every human is inherently good, and the world makes us worse. I have a hard time thinking that. I've seen a lot of bad. But I like to think that we were born selfish, evil, just bad. But the world, it makes us brighter. We find like comfort in our fellow man, and we make something of it. We weren't made to be good. We weren't made for anything. No one is any more capable than you or I are. It's just what you do with it. And if you're struggling to even go to work, something that seems so easy for everyone else, in no way is that your fault. Because remember, you only lose whenever you give up. Anyway else, that's just a setback. That's fine. God, this tea is really nice. I really thought I'd hate it, because it's a chai. I hate spicy things so much. I can't handle them for fucking anything. And all my roommates eat is spicy things. It makes me a little angry. Because I have an eating disorder. And none of them do, but they always make things that I don't like eating. But it's fine. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of funny. It's really nice. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I love little ironies in this world. I love when it gets hard, because one of the worst memories of my life, I know, I'm a little embarrassed saying this, but whenever I was just a child, I remember going to doctor, and every time that I went to a doctor, I would cry my eyes out in my room alone and just pray to God that something was wrong with me. An excuse that I could have to make sense of all the hate that everyone had for me. Something to rationalize why this world hated me so much. And no matter how many doctors I went to at the time, none of them told me anything. It was only after I matured that they actually told me what I had going on. So whenever I feel normal and feel loved, it's really nice. My friends not caring about my eating disorder. My not caring's probably overestimated. They forget probably. It makes me feel like that praying that I did that for something to be wrong with me whenever I was a kid is the only time I prayed. It's kind of silly looking back at it, because I didn't need an excuse for people to dislike me. I just needed to find the right people. And I think the same for you. I really think that's true. The thing about it is, it's like art. One of the biggest advices you'll ever get in art is that you'll find an audience, or you'll make one. It's an either or. So if you keep creating, people will eventually find you. So keep putting yourself out there. Don't let the hate in your heart consume you. Because your lover, your future friends, even if it takes shedding your bad friends currently, because that's what I had to do back in the day. Hurt like hell. There is people in this world who will love you for who you are. Even for whenever you're not your best. Though, if I'm being honest, I think it's a little harder for friends than it is art. Listen, art's hell, but I can't deny how nice it is having a universal platform for literally everything. Doesn't make it easy to find an audience, but it means it is there. But finding friends, it's a lot harder. You gotta get lucky. But if you don't play the odds, then you're just letting yourself down. It's better to feel the pain of defeat than the pain of never even trying. I promise you that. Because that emptiness, that never goes away. But defeat is something you can learn from, and something that you could do something with. It's different, but it's important. You know, I definitely did not think that I'd cover this many, like, topics. But I guess it makes sense. I really hope I hope when I continue this series, it's not enough. I care too much about this stuff. But I hope I don't end up repeating myself. Or if I end up repeating myself, I at least do it in interesting ways. Because I know how hard it is. Good job today. I really am proud of you. I am. I know that it's hard to believe it. And like something in the back of your mind is really telling you that it's like fake comfort or something of that nature. It's not. It's really not fake comfort. What this is concern for you. And I'm proud of you. I really am. Be sure to give it your best at whatever you're doing. Because you have people who love you. Even people who silently do. There is someone. You'll never understand how much you're loved. People often say until you're gone, but when you're gone, you won't know. And I don't think you meet my qualifications for dying yet. Because my qualification for dying is that, theoretically, if God doesn't exist, and you end up, can you look back at the entirety of your life and smile? If you are forced to watch it as a reel and you could choose whichever way to watch it, skipping around, could you look back at it for an eternity and be amused? Enjoy yourself even. Be proud. Maybe you have. But even then, don't do it. But then again, eternity's a long time, you know what I mean? I don't think you have. Because eternity is... You don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things of... It's kind of forever. And in all honesty, I think 20 years is already too much. Yeah. Though, maybe I'm being a cynical little... I can't say that. I should probably head out. Thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the. Oh, no, I never mind. I was gonna hit you with some standard YouTube outro. That's not what this is. This isn't for views. This isn't. See you next time. I really hope you feel a little bit better, more comforted, something. I really hope you'll be safe. And I really hope you'll give yourself the benefit of the doubt, grace, whatever you need. I sincerely hope you'll give it to yourself. You deserve it. You deserve the best. Everyone does. So, please, just keep doing your best and don't give up. Because if you give up, you're gay. And that's all for me. All right. Take care, okay?